Tory MP John Redwood broke into an enraged rant in the House of Commons on Tuesday. While reflecting on the future of Brexit Britain, Mr Redwood insisted the UK needed to move away from its significant £100 billion trade deficit with the EU. He said the UK needed to take this into consideration when attempting to recover from the negative impacts of coronavirus. Barnier and EU dripping with sweat as Brexit negotiations reach breaking point. Mr Redwood also added the UK should be looking intrinsically to help build capital rather than looking overseas. He said, "I think this is an opportunity to make this wider plea to ministers. As we recover from COVID-19 and the damage, we remember that £100 billion deficit we were running in 2019 with the EU before coronavirus disrupted world trade. That is unacceptable. That means too big an increase in claims by foreigners on our country year after year. That is why we need those policies, to get that investment chipping away at the £20 billion deficit in food with the EU. We need to be chipping away at the fishing deficit and the car deficit. This is so we are generating those jobs on British capital, so we are starting to reverse that net liability position which now disfigures our account." Earlier this week, Brexiteer MP Andrew Bridgen also attacked the EU for their unwillingness to resolve the trade talks. Brexit, Burley grills Davey over calls for an adjustment period. He insisted the UK was prepared to provide billions of euros in revenue to the EU, but through a free trade agreement. While on Sky News he said, "COVID-19 is transitory, we will get over this and rebuild our economy. We are offering the EU tariff and quota-free trade as their biggest customer. We buy 100 billion of goods off them, more than we sell to them, so we are the customer. The fact that they won't accept that as a Super Canada deal, putting strings attached where they want us to agree all their regulation now, to me that shows complete insecurity of the European Union and lack of confidence of their own future." Despite the goodwill by both sides, the UK and EU have so far been unable to agree on a free trade agreement for post-Brexit. This has sparked fears that a no-deal Brexit is imminent as it becomes more difficult for both sides to complete the processes needed before the end-of-year deadline, in the event a trade deal was agreed.